What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Rooted in Reptiles. Today we're going somewhere that I really enjoy going, not to do with animals but rather to do with plants. So Kristen and I are heading to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we are going to Little Brook Orchids. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour of their greenhouse. They do like 99.9%, 100% orchids. That didn't really make any sense, but we're gonna get going. Okay guys, so this is Little Brook Orchids. The place is absolutely huge. This is the third time that I've come here now. I've bought orchids from them all 3 times, and we're gonna go on a tour and we're gonna find some orchids to buy. I really enjoy orchids. They have some air plants, they have some other tropical plants, but they specialize in orchids, thus the name Little Brook Orchids. There is all kinds of stuff here, and I mean it goes on and on and on. So we're gonna go take a little bit of a tour and see if we can't find something to buy, or a couple things to buy. So here we go. Okay guys, so as we walk out of their initial showroom, sorry about the wind noise, they have fans blowing. I mean, we're going down the first row and there's already so many awesome orchids here. I mean, they're hanging, they're growing in pots, they're mounted. I mean, like, see if we can't get that to focus. Come on. There we go. Like, what is that? So as we go down the second row here, it's just everything. There's a lot of spectacular orchids here. I mean, so pretty. They grow so wild. These are all phals here, except for those. Those are vandas. Let's see. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, these with these big, crazy long roots. I mean, these roots are upwards of 4 or 5 feet long on some of these vandas. I mean, look at that thing up there. But, I mean, that's just so awesome to see. And in front of another fan. So these plants here, the phals that I have at home, I was able to split off from these. These are, I think, what they call kikis. They are just little orchids growing off the stem that the flowers come off of. So I mean, there's all kinds of them here, and I mean, they're a good size already. That's the one neat thing that I like, is the way that orchids just spread. I love epiphytes, which are plants that don't need soil to grow. As we continue to walk through, guess what? More orchids. I mean, just some of these things are huge. It's called a spike, not a flower stalk. I think that's proper orchid terminology, is spike, which is, again, the stem that the flower grows off of. Oh, look at that root. It goes through the wood, underneath that bark, and out the other side. That is awesome. That's a pretty flower. So I am looking, or hoping to find some what they call like micro mini orchids. I know that they have them here, but I just want to find maybe some different ones that I can take and use in poison dart frog vivariums then. This thing I think is grown into this. I'm not sure how that happens, but there we go. Lost a couple roots, but this is pretty neat. I don't know how much this is, but Den something aggregatum? I think that would be a pretty neat one to mount. It's got a decent sized leaf, and it's got these wicked, it's got these wicked flower or leaf stems, or whatever you call those things. So we might look into getting this one for starters. We'll see what else we can find here. I'm sure there's more. Okay guys, so we are going to get this one to start. This is going to be $35, he said. Dendra agratum. He said these are great for mounting, and this is all the bigger that the leaves will get. It'll just continue to fill. So what I'm thinking is I'll keep a base plant in this pot to continue to grow, and then I'll break off some of these that are hanging over the side and mount them. But he showed me his personal one here, and it looks awesome. But I came back to this room to show you guys this thing. I mean, check out how big this thing is. I mean, there's my hand in mine in this huge. I mean, that thing probably has to weigh 100 pounds hanging from that bar. I mean, it is big. And then check out this thing. Holy cow. This thing is 9 feet tall, probably. Incredible. And all these epiphytic roots hanging out are awesome. Really pretty flowers as well. Man, I love this place. Okay guys, so we are walking back to the Filum, I believe is how you say it, the Filum room of this greenhouse. And I am actually looking for something just like this. I love Filums. I love these like little knots they get, you know, they grow so wild. And they're really cool to me. But there are supposed to be some Filums like that back here in pots, which he said are actually rather easy to grow. So we're gonna see if we can't find those and maybe pick one up. Wow, look at this one. This isn't. Ooh. This looks. That's a neat little plant. I don't know if I pulled that out, or not, but that's cool. You know, I'm getting back into these poison dart frogs, like I told you guys, and so I'm looking for orchids that I can grow in poison dart frog vivariums. Jewel orchids are pretty popular. These are all jewel orchids in here. But to me, they don't have the orchid feel. You know, they don't feel like an orchid to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not as into jewel orchids, I guess, at this point. This is neat. I mean, there's just like so much cool stuff here. And I mean, the vast majority of this, especially these smaller orchids, you can use in terrariums and vivariums, anywhere you know that the temperatures are right, that they're not under heat and or not under direct heat. You know, some of these can take more heat than others, but Filums are supposed to like it cooler. So yeah, they work good for the dart frogs because the dart frogs can't get super hot. But we're on the hunt talked to the gentleman, the owner, and he said that he has some back here, or maybe around here. They might not be in this room, I'm seeing. That he has mounted out front. This is neat. I don't know what this thing is. That's cool. Let's see. Whatever that says, that's what this is. But that, I mean, make sure that I have that on there good. Yeah, it's not gonna fall. I mean, look at that. And just tiny, tiny. Which I think is cool. You know, I have a lot of fun growing these micro mini orchids. When I was into poison dart frogs before, I had a ton of micro minis, and I loved them. I had a whole, it was like 24 by 24 by 24 cube that I just had absolutely filled with micro minis. So I'm thinking that that might be what I do again. Not allowed anywhere where there's chains that say employees only, obviously. But that doesn't mean we can't, look at that thing hanging there. Doesn't mean that we can't get a little bit of a peek. So, he has all these that are mounted, but it seems like the mounted ones are more expensive than the ones in pots, and I can go home and mount these myself. So we'll see. I guess I'll pull one of these off since I'm not seeing them in the Alright guys, so we made it back from Little Brook, and I wanted to show you guys what I got. Got a little hectic there at the end. We had to make it to church, and we were gonna go get lunch and stuff before that, so everything just got a little bit wild there towards the end. So we're home now. The dogs are fighting in the hallway, and I wanted to show you what I got since came out with some pretty cool orchids, I think. So this is an orchid that I used to have when I had poison dart frogs before. It's Epidendrum porpax. I don't know if you can read that, but this grows really, really well epiphytically. It's kind of vining, which is neat. So I really, really like that. I can already take this and cut cuttings off this. I could make 4 mountings right away, 5 mountings actually. So for one plant, you know, that's good. I can have a plant in the pot growing. It has plenty of new stems coming off, and then I have 5 that I can cut right away and make nice size mountings with. So that's kind of what I look for when I shop. Then I got this, which is a Dendrum aggregatum variation Jenkinsey. So this is pretty cool. This isn't a ball of Filum, but I think that it has that ball of Filum look, which I really like, which is these enlarged bases of the leaves. There's a term for that, I forget. He told me, and I forget. But this is a nice big one. I should be able to make a division of this to mount. All the orchids that I buy that I can mount them. Orchids really like to grow epiphytically, so any orchid that has these roots that are just coming out all over the place, those can be mounted. So those are neat. So this is another neat one. It's got these nice small leaves. This would look really, really cool in a vivarium, I think. So I wanted to start growing some of this mounted and then potentially use it in a vivarium at some point. So I got those 2. And then I got these 2 that I got mounted. This one he brought to me and said that when it blooms, it smells like cinnamon. Really, really strong cinnamon. And this is Mericillium trensatum, whatever that means. Obviously it's a name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But this one's already mounted, and this has been mounted for a while. You can see how green this board is. But yeah, that's really, really neat there. And then this is the bulbophyllum I got. this has been mounted for a while as well. You saw this one in the video. I was trying to decide between one that had a flower or one that was in bloom and this one. This one was a lot bigger plant, but it's not in bloom. And I like the looks of this plant better. It's already got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 new leaves coming out of it. So this one's growing really, really well. The plant's a lot significantly bigger, and it's easier for me to divide this plant out already. Both of these have really, really good roots coming off of them. I just love this like crazy all over the place look. I think that it's a lot more interesting than just a standard plant in a pot. But yeah, so I'm really, really hoping that I can get this to bloom. The bloom on this is really, really neat. It kind of looks like a lampshade or a chandelier or something. So I really, really like these. So I ended up spending $95 something on 4 orchids, which isn't terrible when you consider, you know, how long it takes these to grow and stuff like that. But I was really, really happy with it. And then he made it even better because he said that if I bought all 4 of those, he would give me an orchid. So he gave me this, which Kristen thinks looks like glorified grass. I think it's pretty neat. But this is Lapis verdiflora. I'm gonna have to look this up on the internet to see what the blooms look like, but it is going into spike. So there's a spike coming out here, hopefully you can see that. And then there's a spike coming out of this one as well. And it's got these like kind of wild onion looking ends. This can grow epiphytically. He said this is a little bit more difficult just because of the way the plant grows, but you can see these roots. Hopefully I can show you this without dumping this, but you can see the roots at the base of this top one. He said to go for it. He said try it, try and grow it epiphytically and see how it does. So he gave me this for free, which I would think that he would probably charge $25 for this plant. So I was happy with that. It's like getting a $25 for free. I mean, which I did, but or $25 off, however you want to look at it. But so yeah, this was a neat little bonus for me to play with. So those were the 5 orchids I bought. I will do a complete orchid kind of tour, if you will, at some point, but I just kind of wanted to wrap this video up for you guys. Little Brook Orchids is awesome. If you're ever in Lancaster, PA, by Franklin Marshall College, stop there. If you have any interest in orchids at all, stop there and it will blow your mind. So I hope everyone had a great day. I'm enjoying making these videos again, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Hope this was good, and I hope that you guys found this a little bit different and a little bit interesting, more so than the reptiles all the time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the orchids is something that I really enjoy, so I just kind of wanted to bring you on that journey while I geeked out for an hour and a half looking at all the orchids. Thousands, tens, 20,000 orchids. I mean, just everywhere. But hope everyone have a great day, and I will see you guys again.